Excellent. Hey guys, my name is Tyler Fitzgerald, and today, welcome to BEEM's actual very first webinar. So today we're going to be talking about the road to AI, and more specifically, how to establish a solid data foundation for your business. If you have any questions during the webinar, don't hesitate to put them in the chat, because at the end of the webinar, we have some time set aside to be able to answer your questions. So let's jump right into it. So who is this webinar for? This webinar is for forward-thinking companies who are ready to unlock the value of their data. It's for IT leaders, C-suite executives who are driving digital transformation for their business, and it's for organizations exploring business intelligence and AI, but they're just unsure where to start. It's also for businesses that are struggling with siloed, messy, or inaccessible data. So if you fall in one of these categories, then you're definitely in the right place. So what I want to start this webinar off is I want to start it off with this sentence here so that it resonates with you guys throughout the webinar. So the road to AI is paved with clean and connected data. Let's jump into it. Everyone wants AI, but few are ready for it. So as we know, AI is on every roadmap, but execution is where most get stuck. Business leaders want insights, predictions, and automations, dashboards yesterday, but behind the scenes, the data is a mess. So it's impossible to have these insights, automations, and predictions and dashboards without the data. So messy data is actually the cause of inaccurate reporting, delayed decisions, and frustrated teams. It's actually also the main cause of BI projects that never launch or BI projects that underdeliver. And it's also the cause for AI projects that fail before they start. So clean data is the backbone for any data project that you want to do in your business. So it's important to have it clean and ready and accessible. So the next step is that we're seeing daily that analysts and IT department are wasting hours every day exporting and cleaning and stitching together reports. The reason is simple, because teams don't know how to properly extract their data and they're manually exporting it. Therefore, IT teams are buried in support tickets to go out there and help out their companies, which leads to executives making decisions with messy, unclear data. So what we see here is different ways for companies to go out there and solve these problems. The first and most common thing that we see is that companies are hiring expensive consultants to go out there and build custom pipelines as well as custom data infrastructures. And that's great, because it gives you the data infrastructure as well as the data pipelines that you need. The problem with that is once the consulting mandate is done, there's no one there to support it internally because everyone lacks the internal expertise. The next thing that we're seeing companies going out there and buying fancy new reporting tools with a flashy UI. That's great. However, if you don't fix your data problem, that fancy new interface isn't going to be able to showcase your data. You have to fix the problem at the root, which is cleaning and centralizing your data. And lastly, we see more and more pressure being put on IT teams to band-aid everything together while they're already stretched thin. If you're making business decisions, you don't want to make it on band-aided data that's been put together. You want to make it on clear, actionable data so that you can make the right decision and be confident with it. So all this to say, you want data that's connected, clean, and ready for when you need it. So once you've built a data foundation, here's what your life could look like for you. Your business will be able to drive real-time insights because the data will be accessible at your fingertips. You'll always have one single source of truth, so your data isn't going to be living in different systems. It's all going to be centralized. You'll be able to have self-serve access to reliable, clean, and connected data, and you will also be able to automate your company reporting as well as alerts. By doing this, you will also be able to have the foundation to have proper, clean AI that gives you smooth and clean outputs. Additionally, you'll also have a scalable and future-proof infrastructure, which means that you will have more time to focus on important tasks in the business and not stitching together reports and cleaning your data. So all this to say that clean data makes the difference, no matter what you do. When it comes to making decisions, when it comes to starting an AI project, or when it comes to starting a BI project. If your data is not clean, you will have limitations within your project. So how do you do it? Well, here's 5 simple steps to get that data foundation started. So step number 1 is you need to be able to choose a cloud infrastructure. The reason why you need to choose a cloud infrastructure is simple, because you need to be able to store um, large volumes of data that you could also use to scale as your business grows. The cloud infrastructure is there to be able to host your data lake as well as your data warehouse. A data lake is where you're able to bring in different file types, different data types, so that it can be centralized within the organization. The data warehouse is there so that you can standardize and clean and transform your data so that you could put it out in reporting. So let's go through the steps. Once you've chosen the data lake, the data infrastructure, that's when you need to build out your data lake. So you can load and store all your data, and it's there, it's safe, it's secure, and it's stored. Number 3, that's when you need to be able to build robust, scalable data pipelines. So you need to be able to connect your source systems through your data lake via robust data pipelines so that data is constantly transferred and piped into your data lake. Step number 4, you need to be able to prepare and standardize your data. So that's why you need a data warehouse. You need to begin cleaning and filtering it so that clean data can be used for analysis and reporting. And step number 5, you need to be able to visualize and automate your data. So once it's visualized, you can and automated, leaders can go in there and they can access their data in real time to get fresh insights that update every day. So let's get into the nitty gritty of why you need to choose a cloud infrastructure. Well, it's actually quite simple. You need to centralize your data from multiple sources into one secure location. You also need an infrastructure that is easily able to scale and handle large amounts of growing data and make it accessible to your users. You need to be able to reduce the cost and complexity, and you also would probably want to consider removing the physical hardware from the office so that you don't need to manage that server that's in the back room anymore. Having a cloud infrastructure enables better collaboration across teams and departments, and it offers that built-in security so that all your data is consistently or constantly backed up, and data recovery is managed by cloud providers. So you don't need to manage the infrastructure at that point. Next, why do you need to build data pipelines? Well, it's very simple. A data pipeline is key to having a solid data foundation. So because your data is constantly changing across multiple systems, you need to have your data automatically extracted. The downside of using manual reporting, manual data exports, is because they're error prone and they give you a snapshot of that specific period. You don't want to be reporting on data from 2 weeks ago or a month ago. You want to be reporting on live data that has been automatically extracted and transformed. Without data pipelines, your reporting can't scale or stay consistent. An automated pipeline keeps your lakehouse up to date and ready for data models. Next, you need to centralize your data. And I think this is a great time to say, and put a little bit more emphasis on this, that Excel is not a database. It was never designed to be a database, and therefore you should not be storing and manipulating all of your company data directly on Excel. Day after day, we meet with companies that are using Excel and it's holding up their company, and that's not the proper way of doing it. Your data needs to be centralized properly. So the reason why your data needs to be centralized and stored properly is because your data is siloed or scattered across multiple different departments and softwares, meaning that finance is using their own tech stack, IT is using their own tech stack, marketing, and so on and so forth, which means that teams are constantly working with disconnected data. What a data lake lets you do is it lets you centralize. So with your data pipelines, you're able to connect to your source systems and centralize that data and store it securely in your data lake so that it's accessible. When it's centralized in your data lake, it's there for long-term storage and you have consistent, up-to-date backups of your data. A data lake is the foundation for automating reporting and future AI initiatives. Next, now that we've talked about a data pipeline, a data infrastructure, a data lakehouse, now it's time to talk about what a data warehouse is. So raw data is messy and inconsistent for analysis. So that's why you need to do a little bit of work to your data at that point. So different systems are using different formats, namings, and logics. So if you don't clean or standardize or transform your data, the dashboards become unreliable or unusable. Data preparation ensures accuracy and trust in your reporting. And that's exactly what you use a data warehouse for. You use a data warehouse to go in there, clean, filter, transform, standardize your data so that you could push that data towards your reporting tools. You also need to be able to access your data warehouse from your data lake so that it's easy for you to be able to transfer the data between one and the other. Which leads me to this final step. You need to be able to visualize your data. So by visualizing your data in a dashboard, you're able to quickly identify trends and patterns. You're able to simplify complex data, and you're able to improve decision-making. At the same time, you're also able to monitor performance in real time because your data is constantly flowing and it's constantly fresh. So all this to say that by visualizing your data, teams are aligned and focused on what matters the most, which is making decisions. So now that we've gone through all the points more in details, let's talk about how your data infrastructure works together. So by choosing a cloud infrastructure, you're able to safely and securely store all your data in one place. By building your data pipelines, you're able to connect directly to your source systems, whether it be an ERP, a CRM, or anything else, and you're able to extract that data and centralize it all in your data lake. When your data is centralized in your data lake, it's there and it's easily accessible and it's always stored and backed up. The next step is to be able to prepare your data. So in a data warehouse, this is where you want to be able to clean, filter, and modern your data to ensure consistency and reliability. Once that step's been done, the final step is to go out there and to visualize your data. So that's when you would be able to connect a data visualization tool towards your data warehouse. And the end result is that teams get instant trusted insights with no manual effort, enabling faster and smarter decisions. So you don't need to go out there and manually do Excel reports or anything like that. It's automatically done. You just need to log into that dashboard so that you can see your most up-to-date company information. Now, clean data opens the door to AI. So I think that's something that's been stressed enough throughout the duration of this webinar. You need to be able to have clean data to start your AI projects. So with clean data, you can unlock AI. So you're able to query your data warehouse using natural language. You'll be able to ask it specific questions, such as what is the cost of goods sold? What was the revenue last month? Because that data lives in your data warehouse. You're able to generate executive summaries from your data so that you could easily have an idea of the big picture and what is going on in your company. You're able to build internal AI co-pilots for every department, and you're also able to classify, tag, and enrich your unstructured data. You're able to do this all while keeping your data secure, private, and compliant once it's on your own infrastructure. So let's show you a quick little bird's eye view of what this looks like. Now what I'm showing you is a 2025 modern data platform stack. So as you can see here, we've gone through all the different flows such as centralization, infrastructures, lakehouse, warehouse. So this is what it all looks like. There's different things to choose from, such as orchestrations, platforms, platform management tools, ingestions, data storage. And for a company that does not have in-depth expertise or IT or engineering knowledge, this is completely overwhelming, and it may kill your hopes and dreams of implementing AI and BI for your business. But it doesn't always have to be this complex, or it could be a lot easier. So with BEEM, we solve this problem. So what is BEEM? BEEM is an all-in-one platform that's comprised of a data lake, a data warehouse, robust data pipelines, as well as in-app dashboarding. So with BEEM, you don't need to manage the infrastructure. It's completely managed for you. You just need to go in there and connect your data sets. BEEM also offers complex pipelines to over 700 different systems. So if you are using specific ERPs or CRMs, the chances are we have the connection for you. And if we don't have it, we can build it for you so that you can always have access to, you can always centralize the data from your tools. Next, because we're a data lake and a data warehouse, we're able to have pipelines go in there and extract your data directly into your data lake. And because we're a data warehouse, we're able to automatically transform that data. And lastly, you're able to visualize your data. So within BEEM, there's in-app dashboarding so that you could go in there and visualize your data and not need to be able to connect external tools such as Power BI or something like that. You can do that directly in-app. Now, the point of this webinar is to talk a little bit about AI and what you can do about that. So with BEEM, you also have the ability to chat directly with your data. So it might seem a little bit similar to what you see in chatbots that are out there and well known, but this chatbot is based directly on your data, meaning that you can ask specific questions to your data, you can query your data, and you can ask it to bring in, create dashboards, not dashboards, but charts for you if needed. So all this to say it's completely private, it's secure, and it's only on your data foundation, meaning that data won't leak anywhere, and you can have your own private AI. So our mission here at BEAM is to give businesses of all sizes the ability to implement AI without having to build it from scratch. So we handle all the heavy lifting for you by having all those pre-built systems and connectors so that you don't have to go through that that 2025 data stack and build it all yourself. Now, here's some of our clients. As you can see here, BEAM is the best partner from data extraction to AI insights. So we're working with some of Canada's or Quebec's leading businesses. So Demel's Bone, they're a well-known and accredited accounting firm, and they were looking for a data platform to feed their BI services. MG Construction, a very well-known construction company in interior design systems, and they were looking for a partner to provide them with real dashboards to help them make decisions so that they don't have to second guess what's going on the job site. Coffrage Synergie, a very well-known firm that does formwork for businesses, and they were looking for a partner to structure their data and streamline their workflows for reuse so that they could have data prepared for beginning their AI projects. As you can see here, Coffrage Synergie was able to go directly to analysis. So they didn't have to build anything. So they were able to sign into BEAM, they were able to connect all their data, and they were able to begin working on analysis, not building that entire stack from scratch. Demel's Bone was looking for a partner to help them do all the heavy lifting so that they could focus on giving their clients the best financial advice that they can while implementing modern day technology to help them do it. MG Construction was looking for a partner to help them make decisions on the job site by providing them with accurate dashboards so they don't have to second guess what they're doing. So you just really have three options at the end of the day, and here they are for you. 3, you could build the entire infrastructure yourself and hire a team of engineers to develop and maintain it. The downside of that is it's time consuming and it costs a lot of money to be able to do that. The second option is you could hire costly consultants to build and maintain the infrastructure. The downside of that is it once again costs a lot of money and you don't have any internal expertise to help manage it. And the last option is you could start your project with BEAM. So with BEAM, you don't need to build or maintain everything. Everything is already built directly for you. You just need to connect and go, and our team was there to support you with any need that you may have. So if you're interested and you have any questions or you'd like to learn more about BEAM, feel free to contact us and ask about our proof of concept program. We're here to help support you. And if we can support you, the first month is on us so that we could show you what it is that we do and how we can support your business. So here, if you want, you could book your call today, or you could check out our website and look more into what our use cases are and how we're helping businesses around the country. And that's it for me. If you have any questions, I'd like to open the floor to some questions to be able to answer them. Give it a minute. Great. Well, I guess there's no questions. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have anything, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to answer them privately if you'd like. Thank you guys. Have a great day.